Hey guys, super excited to share with you the ultimate AI content engine that I've been working on for the past few weeks. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the templates, both front end and back end. So all the Airtable interfaces, all the back end templates on the end, all of this connected together. I have an installation video that you can get access to get started inside your business real quick. Uh, Basically, this AI content systems is going to help you cut by at least 80% the time it takes you to create content while maintaining quality. And I put the emphasis on quality here. It's not about quantity that much, although you could be making a lot of content pieces with it. This works for both businesses, sole businesses, and also for content agents, content agencies, basically. Um, Also, this works for any platforms that you want. You can train it, name it, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, blog post, newsletter, whatever you want, you can train for it. So what I'm about to share with you, agencies will charge you thousands of dollars essentially to have this or offer it as a service, and you will get it for free, okay? So sounds too good to be true? Well, you will definitely want to try this out for yourself and decide, because this is really good, I'm telling you, okay? All right, so let me break down how this AI content system works for you. What are the core components? Also, I will show you all the automations that are involved. There's 20 plus, and you could be customizing it a lot more than this, okay? This is by no means a basic version. This is all actually something that I can sell to people that I decided to give for free. So you actually get the real deal here. So let's start with the 7 main features of the AI content engine. The first one is the ability to scan for trends and industry news and stay updated to generate content ideas, okay? So this is a big one because most of the time when you try to write content for yourself or for your clients, you need to come up with new ideas that have a tendency to go viral, meaning you spot a gap in the market and you know you can transform an idea into something that's going to be viral or at least correspond to your ideal customer profile. So you're going to be able to sell to those people. Okay. So it is not rare to have the blank page syndrome and just don't have any idea of what to write about. And and this AI content system, basically what I've built is the ability to scan. So we scan RSS feeds, newsletters, you can scan blog posts, you can scan keywords on like Twitter. You can also follow Reddit if you wanted to follow Reddit and some subreddits. The bottom line is you can pretty much scan all you want. We use those content pieces that get into our system, and then after this, we compare those content pieces to your company or all the companies you're taking care of as a content agency, and we give a relevant score. So this tells you if this is a content piece that is actually valid for what you're doing. Therefore, it gives you better chance at going viral or just corresponding to your mission. So you don't need a dedicated 24/7 team anymore to search new ideas. We can build a system, and we've built a system that is going to take care of this for you. Okay. The second thing is you can train this AI on as many company profile as you want. Hello, content agencies. This means that you can write for your company. So what's your company doing? The mission, your unique value proposition, your ideal customer profile, then your ideal customer profile, pain points, all that stuff. And we use this information to compare to use it basically in all the prompts that we're going to use in the system to generate ideas, posts, or also analyze trends. Okay, so this becomes a very tailored software to what you're doing. If you're a content agency and you've got 50 plus people, businesses that you work with, for example, you know that this can become very hard to scale because you have to remember all those details. The good news is this system is going to do it for you. You don't even have to think about it anymore, okay? You can follow some strict guidelines that you have, but the AI is going to do most of the work because you can train as many companies as you want. The third feature, like the companies, is you can train as many AI writers as you want. Okay, so get this. This is very important. When someone writes, he or she has some kind of writing profile, a psychological profile, if you want. Okay, and we make that profile for you based on content that you give it. So we train it on that content, and then after this, the AI is going to mimic almost perfectly that writing style. Okay, you can feed a lot of information and it's going to be very similar, or you can feed a little bit and then it might not be as good. It depends on the training data that you have, but the capabilities are there. Okay, in my case, I've tried it on a bunch of different writers, some with very esoteric style of writing, and it's actually mind-blowing how this is very similar to them. Okay, you wouldn't know it's actually AI writing, and this is really where we get the quality aspect over quantity, because this is going to use the writer profile with the company profile, and I'm going to talk about it after, but the platform profile, and this is going to give you something so much accurate that it's going to give real value and actually drive tangible growth for you. Okay, and remember, if you're a content agency, you can mix all of those together, so it becomes way more easier. You don't need 50 copywriters to take care of hundreds of accounts. Okay, another thing that you can do, and I like doing this, when I find someone that's a very good writer, very good copywriter, whether it's blog, newsletters, I like to just take their newsletter, their blogs, put this into a whole document because I love their writing style, and I can train my AI on it. And so after this, I literally can write the same way they do. So not only this helps me write in a better way because English is not my native language, this also helps me practice my English and also actually give tangible growth results. Okay, because the writing is better than what I'd be able to do. The fourth feature, similar to the past two that I've just said, is basically the ability to train your AI on different platforms. So all those platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, blog, newsletters, name it, okay, they all have different guidelines. So either you're aware of those guidelines or you're not, and if you're aware of them, then usually it means you're going to grow faster. Okay, if you're not aware of the guidelines or the do's and don't of the different platforms, then this is where things get tricky. Posting content on so many different platforms and like being able to grow, super hard. Okay, but the cool thing is you can train the AI on all those platforms and you can use the material that you get online. Okay, you could, for example, take all the videos that show you how to become viral on Twitter, put this into a document or a PDF, feed this into the AI, and then the AI will aggregate all the information and build a psychological profile per se on this platform, which is fantastic because now you're mixing the best practice of a platform with your writing style that you desire for X or Y company and a company profile, what they're selling, how they want to come across. It's just the best type of customization that you could expect for a system. Taking this into consideration, all at the same time as a human is pretty hard, especially if you're a content agency. It means that you need to be able to be a chameleon in some way. You have to adapt to all those different profiles. But now this AI content system is making this way easier for you. Okay. Now you take this all together. The next big feature is we can generate ideas and posts and also generate image with those posts, okay? Because this is not just text. We also generate image. So if you don't have any illustration, fancy charts, you can use the image we generate, okay? The first step is we generate ideas. So let's say you like this article that came from Automation Edge newsletter, and it feels like, well, the AI said you have a 90 relevant score with it, okay, with what your company does and who you're selling to. And so you analyze this text and you determine that, yes, I'm going to actually use this article and build a post on this and talk about it. And I'm going to be one of the first few that does it because the article just came out and I got it in my system, okay? Because remember, you're scanning for trends and news. It means you're going to be one of the first people that actually talks about it most of the time, okay? So I'm going to show this later in the demo, but you can just click generate, and then it's going to give you an idea that you can use and draft a post with it. Also, our AI is going to give you 3 to 5 different ways of leveraging this news or article for your own content. So you get to choose from what you want, really, okay? After this, you select which writer you want for which platform it is. You can post for many platforms, meaning one idea, you can generate something for Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, blog, newsletter. And the text is vaguely going to say the same thing, but it's going to be put in different formats for all those different platforms. So it's just, optimal for growth. Okay. Then you can click generate, and in no time you're going to have your first drafts for all the platforms that you selected. And also 1 or 2 minutes later, all the images are going to be generated for you, and you can choose to use them or have your own illustrations. Okay, so this is really a system that lets you go from A to Z, but also lets you put your manual input if you want. Okay. And this is the approach that I would advise you to do. Most of those agencies online, they just generate AI contents and they just post and they hope it's going to hit. The quality aspect here is it mimics very accurately the platform-based guidelines, the writer's profile in the company, but you get to modify it and put actual real stats in there as well, and just make it better. So you could automate 100% of it, but the idea that I prefer is that you automate 80% of it and you just have a final say in it for quality control, okay? And this is going to ensure that you have way better posts than most people in the market, okay? The sixth feature, and this is where this is interesting as well, because in this system we've built, okay, now we can generate things and we can generate all the posts, but now we can also track those posts and we can push those posts into a dedicated interface for content tracking, okay? So this is really, really important, because if you post on different channels, you will want some kind of system that lets you track your all your posts on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and when they're going to be posted and what it is about. And you're going to want to track the analytics as well, but more on this later, okay? So we've built inside Airtable our own interface to track your content pipeline based on how we like to do it personally, and also based on their experience working with content agencies. So I did work with YouTube content agencies in the past, and I also did work with ghostwriter copywriting agencies in the past, so I kind of know how they like to track their content pipeline, and I'm giving this knowledge for free into an interface, and you get to have it today, okay? The key thing is keeping it simple. The last thing is tracking all your content analytics. So it is very important to know what works, what doesn't, and have this over time, okay? Having different snapshots. It's super important, because otherwise, how else are you going to improve? You improve what you measure, right? It's not the first time that you're hearing this. So the system by default is going to allow you to track this manually, okay? You're going to see in the Gamma docs below this video, there's an add-in. Okay, this aspect is not free, because it is we have to take a personalized approach for this, okay? Don't worry, it doesn't cost a lot if you want to do this, but basically, if you want to track the analytics of every post on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and all the different stuff, all of those platforms have different ways of doing it. Usually we use an external API on Apify, and so this is not really something I can templatize and give everyone like this. This is more one-on-one approach to understand what you're looking for. But this system I'm going to show you allows you to track this data set and visualize into graphs. So it is the optimal way of doing things. You track your content pipeline and you track your analytics. And so over time, with all the data that you're gathering, you're going to be able to know what worked, what didn't work, and just make more of this content that worked, okay? So super, super important. Now, enough talking. I'm going to show you how this looks in terms of automation, and I'm going to run a little demo with it, okay? So in terms of automation, this is different scenarios, and it's not one scenario. That would not make sense because there's many triggers in it, okay? This is a bunch of scenarios that we have. Basically, what we use is Airtable. Now, you should have plugged out already if you follow the instruction guide, but we use Airtable. We use PyAPI for Midjourney unofficial access to generate image. We use as well Google Doc for trainings, and well, that's pretty much it. We don't use much. We use an AI, of course, Claude for writing, and I do recommend that you use Claude, but you could also plug ChatGPT if that's your preference, okay? It really doesn't matter here. If I go into the front end, so what you're getting access to basically, looks like this. So it is a two interface here on the left. It's super simple. It's made friendly, and here when you get to the home page, well, you get all the information that you need. And in case you're not sure, you're gonna have all the presentation, documentation, and guide on the right. And if you need to book a meeting with us, it's gonna be there as well. We also have our links. If you don't have an end yet, you can click on here and start using an end, okay? We also give our free S3 onboarding template as well, okay? The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is create a user. So here I have a user already. We have 2 users inside Wingrow, me and Rob. You click on plus here, name, picture, that's it. Okay, this is essentially, I'm not gonna do it, it's already done. This essentially just creates a user that says, okay, this person is gonna be using the AI content engine, and you will be able to extract in the future stats about usability, capabilities, you know, who's doing what, essentially, okay? Company profile, this is where it gets interesting. You will click here, name. This is where you really deep dive, okay? If you're content agencies, you probably have an onboarding form with in-depth question. If you don't, please go watch our onboarding material, okay? But this is really important to know more about your clients. And this is going to ask you things like about the business, what service do you offer, mission of the business, unique value proposition, ideal clients, top 3 pain points. How do you want to come across to your target audience, and images just for the logo so you're not lost, okay? And then when you fill this is going to look like this, okay? This is not trained by AI. This is actually you thinking about your business or your client's business, okay? And we use that information to generate all of the ideas and content, and also give a relevant score with the trends, news, article, etc. Okay, so I mean, there's no text here, but this is just to show if I had 3 clients, well, myself, NVIDIA, and AMD. I wish I had them as clients. Then you'd have different information there, and you're going to be able to select this later. Okay, writer profile. This is where this gets interesting. Okay, and I'm going to create one just to show you. Okay. I'm going to create a profile here and say unknown. The Google Doc. Actually, what I'm going to do is not create a, well, let me test that out. I'm going to create and I'm going to modify this. Okay, I'm going to use the same link right here to generate this. Okay, boom. All right, so I'm going to use the same link, so it's going to be similar to this writing style. If I click on this, then there's a lot of, there's about 78 page, okay, of content. There's really a lot of things here, okay? And I'm going to train a model, boom, okay? This should take a couple seconds, 10, 50 seconds. So while this process, I'm going to go to platform profiles and show you, okay? Platform profiles is the same thing. By default, with a template, you're going to have the LinkedIn training aspect. You're going to have the LinkedIn platform already trained on the system, okay? And this is based on a lot of LinkedIn playbooks data that we have. So this is actually the good stuff, but you could also modify it. The AI train it like this, but you could come in this and say, nah, that's not what I wanted to the visual element. You could just write it manually what you want, okay? This system is all about automating things, yes, but also letting the user have an input on what they want. So if you go in depth, you could have LinkedIn one, you could have a second LinkedIn profile for different things, what you're looking for. This is where things get nice, because if you know about different posting type, you can have case studies, you can have authority figure, you can have personal stories, whatever. You can get very creative with this, okay? On my platform right now, I have LinkedIn and Twitter. Twitter has been trained with, like I said, I went on YouTube, took the 10, 15 top videos about how to go viral on Twitter. I put all the scripts into one big document, and then I trained the platform, okay? There's no point for me on creating a new platform here. But basically, if I create a new platform, it will create a new profile, I put the link, and I click train the model, okay? And it's going to do the same thing as the writer profile here. If I go, boom, then now I have basically all the writer profile as is, okay? And this is going to be used when we create new ideas and content. The next thing is the trend list. So this is basically a list of all the incoming um, article, RSS feeds, newsletter, blog, whatever you're following, what gets into the system, and we make a list of it. Okay. So this is the relevance score of what we're tracking for our own company. So I'm gonna open this one, for example. Let's use this one. Okay. Relevance score 90. We've got some topics here, so it helps me just visualize real quick what this is about, the source. If that was a post that we track, we'd have the data here. This is not the case because this comes from RSS feeds. Okay. Then we have the AI here actually explains why it gave that 90 score, and we have the AI, and again this is based on the company profile. Remember, suggests ways we can use to leverage it. Some notes. Here's the full article, so I could read it right from my Airtable system. And let's say that I want to generate an idea with it with AI. So I would push here. If you made users, then you have your name here. I will push it to myself. And now what we're going to do is just wait a couple seconds, and it's going to generate an idea. How you know it's finished process? It's going to appear right here. So you can track, because one article can be used for one user, but also for many users, okay? And likewise, you can also use it for many companies. So here, okay, the idea generated is your team wastes 30 plus hours weekly on tasks robot could handle. Automation isn't just for insurance anymore. So this article was indeed talking about RPA, so RPA is automation, use case in insurance, but it was probably talking about other things related to this. And it did in the article mention at 30 plus hours. Okay, it doesn't make up statistics. So let's say that, okay, this idea is good for me. I want to modify it, or maybe you want to change the title, doesn't matter. If I click on here and I click workshop, this one's not gonna link to the right place because this is the demo, but the workshop is gonna send me here and your team voice 30 plus hours. So this is a new page that we have. I could be changing this idea, the title manual here, because you don't want this, maybe you want 25 plus, whatever. Then you can select the company that you're writing for, the writer. So I'm going to use this one, for example. That's an esoteric style of writing. And the platform. Here, I'm going to put both platforms because I want to generate a draft for both, okay? Then what I can do is generate the draft. So I'm going to click on this, and I can show you here how this looks in the backend. Generate draft. It's basically this information where we get all the relevant information that we need. And this is a loop over all the platform because we're going to create something for every platform. If the article is already generated for LinkedIn, but now you had it Twitter and you click generate again, then you are going to be able to generate just Twitter and not LinkedIn again. Okay, so this is basically a loop. And here below, you're going to find the image creation, basically. This use Pi API and Midjourney. Okay, if you're someone, again, I'm going to mention this in the instruction installation. But if you're someone that don't want to generate image and you want to save time, you can just remove this whole portion here, no problem. Okay. If I go back inside here, as you can see, I don't have the image yet because this is going to take some seconds. There's a delay. I'm going to have them in like maybe 1 minute, 1 minute 30. But I do have my draft, okay, which I can click here on it. And this is going to give me the post. So this particular writer here has been trained on newsletter. So if you see first name, this is something I could go and remove in the writer profile, stop saying first name. But basically this is a variable people use in newsletter to just, mention the first name of the person. But sure enough, what this is going to do is, since this is for LinkedIn and it knows that LinkedIn has this hook that you need to make on 2 or 3 sentence maximum, this is going to do just that. So there's this hook here. I'm going to do this at the same time because I can also generate hook variations, okay? And I'm going to click here, and this is going to generate while I explain. But basically, this gives the whole post, which now what I would do is, okay, this is good. This is a really good base. Sometimes it's going to be exactly what you're looking for, but I would advise that you go in and you modify what you want to write. Like maybe you want to change a couple of stats, maybe you want to just put a couple more sentences, maybe you want to remove some sentence. I would advise that you do this. So this is where okay, you didn't have to come up with this whole post, but you can choose to modify it and make it a little bit more your own. Okay. What's really cool about this is you can also train with the companies. You can put your own case studies or your clients' case studies. Okay. And this is going to be an extension of the system where we can have the article, the post, whatever we're funneling into our system, compared to our current case studies and use those inside the draft using what the article is talking about. Okay. So it will come up with actual real stats of actual real clients and what you exactly did for them, basically. Okay. As you remember, I click on get 10 more hooks because you can do this, and this is going to give you 10 more hooks ideas for LinkedIn specifically. And once again, I would probably go and remove the your first name idea here, but exit your text, remove it, and then you make it your own. As you can see, the image have been spawned. So what we do is, based on this draft, we use AI to generate a prompt that goes to Midjourney, and it generates this. You can choose to use this or not, and it's totally up to you. Let's say I do like this fourth one here. We've also built a feature where you can generate some variations of this. So you'd click on this. Then again, it's going to take a minute something. And you're going to have 4 more illustrations right here. Okay, this is, obviously those image looks more AI generated. But I do think that having a good image is better than having nothing. So if you don't have illustrations, a good Miro flow, then I would use something like this. Okay. For Twitter, if I go here, you're gonna see that it is divided for Twitter posts. Okay, all those dots. It's basically saying, okay, this is a slide, this is a slide, this is a slide. Okay. So it talks about the same kind of content in the different ways, and it fits it for Twitter based on the platform trainings that we gave it. Okay, so this is super, super cool. The IDEO workshop is really where everything works together. Some things I have to say is specified draft is if you want to use a specific case study because you're like, okay, I know this title, we've done this for a specific client, you can mention it. You just copy paste your case study in here, specificities for draft, and the AI is going to use that information to draft the post. Same thing for image. If you want to generate an image on top of what we're already making, you could say, I want a green alien in the background, whatever you're making. So it's going to make something like this, but also have a green alien in the background because that's what you requested. Okay. So this is really, really customizable. You can make pretty much what you want. And as you can see, because I click generate variation 4, and this is this one, we made more variation of this one. So really cool. You could also say, oh, finally, I don't like this one, so I'm going to generate variations of the third one instead. Again, it's a system that automates the whole thing if you want, but also lets the user have an input. And that's where you have quality over quantity, really. The ideal list is just to have a good way of seeing, okay, what's in the pipeline right now in terms of ideas and for which users. You can create content manually, of course. You're not obligated to have AI create your content ideas. But you can create an idea manually, and you can have AI generate stuff with it, okay, using your own case studies if you put specification. Now, okay, how do we go from we've got a post to I want to push this into my content pipeline, which is my calendar. Okay, if you go here, I have a post. That's the post here. This is all slide in, so it just comes easily. And it's scheduled for well, it was scheduled for today. Let's take this one, platform Twitter. Okay, we've got a calendar view, we've also got a Kanban view, and it's very easy to see with colors and titles what is what, and you can also filter by user. So that's what I have scheduled for Renee. This is what Rob has scheduled, for example. Okay, right here you can put your post type, top leadership, service, company, personal. Like I said, there's different things, and Airtable is really like block windows. You can put what you want in there. Post URL, this is where if you automatically track the data, this is going to come handy. Post URL is that you can go back, you can have someone that takes the data and then it's going to do manual entries here. Which post was this for? Data snapshot, so today, what time? use, impression, like, all that good stuff. And I'm going to show you the metrics after. But I want to come back here. There's a way to automate this, but like I said earlier, we have to use external APIs, specifically for things like LinkedIn, for example. We use API connected to external LinkedIn API, and then we can go and do snapshots like this based on dates with the post URL and IDs. Okay. If you're looking for something like this, don't hesitate to book a call with us. It's going to be totally feasible. In terms of content, there's a way here of seeing really quickly what's in the pipeline. Total plan posts, schedule, posted, what platform. You can filter by who. So Renee, I know I have 2 LinkedIn posts, nothing Twitter. Rob has 1 Twitter, 2 LinkedIn for the whole 3. Very easy. And for the performance here, you can filter by user, of course. Right now there's only mine. But this gives you insights over time on your post, because what's very valuable is not having one snapshot and say this is it. What's very valuable is maybe having a snapshot of a post over 4 weeks, and so you can see what works and what doesn't, but over time, like a curve, you know. And so this is going to allow you to see the views, likes, comments, shares over time. Then you're going to have your best videos for likes, views, comments, shares, your best platforms. Really is going to let you dig into what works and what doesn't. Okay. So overall, this whole system here is built on a front end, which is Airtable. It is super user friendly, super easy to use, and that's why we've made it on Airtable. And this is built on init-n. But don't worry, maybe you haven't seen the video yet. It's going to be below or above this one. Inside the Gamma doc that we have a full installation guide, and we have the templates that we share. There's almost no work involved for you to get this inside your own business right now. Okay, and again, I want to put emphasis for free. So it wouldn't be too hard to sell this to content agencies or solo business for thousands of dollars, because this replaces the need for having ghostwriters work for you, and this replaces the time that you spend thinking about having ideas or writing the posts. Okay, this removes a lot of the work involved. All right, so I'm going to come back to it. How do we push those ideas that we have in the workshop inside the content? This is one button automation. If I want to just push one, I can click on it and click push to content pipeline. But if I want to push both, I can click on this, and you're going to see a green check mark when it works. So we just wait, boom, they're both in the content pipeline. Then I can go in the calendar and see, boom, there you go, they're there. Okay, I could click on it, schedule a date, and that's pretty much it. That's how you can take care of your pipeline very easily and see what's coming. Very, very, very easy way of doing this, okay? So here's a big question. You're probably wondering, okay, how do I get started on this? If you see the video on YouTube and not in the Gamma doc, it makes sense. You're going to see in the description of this video, there's going to be a Gamma link. Basically, it's going to send you to a whole presentation that tells you even more about this system and gives you the full installation instruction guide for free. There's no hidden paywalls. There's only, if you want us to customize it even further for you, then obviously you can take a meeting with us, and we're going to work on this with you 100%. Why am I doing this for free? Well, I believe that the future of writing is AI assisted. Catch the phrase, I didn't say full AI generated. I say AI assisted, because AI is going to empower people to do a better job, not fully take over their job. And quite frankly, when I scroll over LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, I'm a little bit tired of seeing fully 100% AI generated content, okay? Because there's ghostwriters out there, there's agencies that just sells you for thousands of dollars, systems that are not so good. They're just wrappers of AI. They don't have that much depth to it, and it looks like AI generated content, and everyone is using it now. So I don't see much value in most of the posts that I see. So I decided I'm going to build something better. I'm going to give it for free, and hopefully it helps you guys to make better content, have a better presence online, because we know how difficult it is to be on every channel now as a business, especially if you're starting out. And if it does help you, which I think it will, hopefully you will trust WinGrowth. You will trust us to work on your operations further and help you systemize your business, automate your business. WinGrowth has an operation focus approach first, and then automation. Everyone is trying to get into AI right now, but you don't need to put AI in most of the things that you have in your business. Okay, sometimes your operations don't even allow for it. You don't even have data for it. Okay, um, so it's very important that for people that want to install AI, and 74% of the business are struggling to implement and have value from AI. So it's important that you actually decide and see where you need it and then implement it a correct way. Okay, and we're there to do that. If you find this useful, you can contact us and we can work on other operational and operational aspect of your business, and also work on automation after that. There's going to be plenty of links down in the description and the Gamma docs to book a call with us. Also, if you want a one-on-one onboarding with this system, we provide this help as well, the white glove service. You're going to find a link in the description to book a meeting with us. Again, this is not necessary because you're going to have the full instruction, but maybe you want some further help, and we're going to be pleased to help you with this. So if you're serious about content in 2025, you definitely need a system like this. So I will encourage that you use it, and we'll take any feedback that you have. So if you have some ideas of things to improve, comment it down below in the description. I will read every comment. I will make some improvements to the system, and who knows, I might give those as improvements for free as well. That will just encourage me if there's a bunch of comments and you guys like it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That helps a lot as a business that's starting YouTube now. And yeah, there's going to be more of those in the future. I plan on making plenty of good builds and just, helping businesses get into the AI, but the good way, and not so much about like, oh, we have to implement AI and then do it like randomly. No, we're gonna make some very, very good systems, AI agents in the future, and I'm gonna share all of this on YouTube. So hopefully you're there to watch those videos and give me comments, feedbacks, and hopefully you like it.